Hi, my name is Stephanie Contra O'Hara, and I'm the owner of Well-Minded Counseling, and I'm here to interview Brianna Jones today, who goes by Bree. Bree, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Bree. I am an art therapist and regular therapist. I just joined the Well-Minded team. I've been doing therapy for about 4 years, and I'm super excited to join the team.
So, the first question we have today is why did you originally decide to become a therapist?
Yeah, I think for me, I had an art therapist when I was 16 that was super helpful. In my process, it's just hard being 16. So to have a safe person to talk to was really profound for me. And I think that just decided, like, I'm going to be an art therapist. I had an art teacher tell me about art therapy, and I kind of just decided that that was going to be my path. I think I've always been a very relational person and have always enjoyed learning about people and learning about their stories. And so this kind of just was a natural path for me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. What is your general philosophy and approach to helping others? Do you end up being more directive or guiding in your therapy?
Yeah. So I think for me, it's a combination of both guided and non directive. I would say that obviously art therapy is my main method of therapy. And so, really, what that is it's verbal processing, but most of it is using the art process to kind of um, process what you're experiencing, maybe difficult emotions, whether that's a trauma, um, and then kind of allowing whatever happens in that art process to kind of inform what's happening for the person emotionally or, experientially. That's a word. And I think so that's my main method. Obviously, I do talk therapy. I have a extensive background in trauma, and so I'm really try to be trauma informed in every approach I take. And then I would also say I have my training from Naropa, so it's a transpersonal art therapy degree. And transpersonal counseling for me is really just holding the idea that a person um, is there's mind, body, and spirit in an individual. And so that's really including all, whether that's mindfulness or really learning about your own spirituality and how you make sense of yourself and in relation to the rest of the world. So that's a big part of it for me, I think, as well. And then when it comes to non-directive and guided, I think I really try to let that be a client decision. So, if somebody comes in one day and they have something that they really need to talk about, or they really want to target or work on, I can be directive in that way. But, sometimes it's helpful to just have it kind of be open-ended and allow them the space to make that choice. Is I think my biggest goal for clients to be able to kind of guide that for themselves and me follow their lead.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
What do you think is a strength that you have or that makes you different from other therapists?
Yeah. So I would say that the art piece would make me a little bit different. And it's definitely, I think, a strength for, as myself being an artist, that's how I communicate. So sometimes words can fail me, as you might see in this video, but art can be really helpful in that way. And so I think that can be really awesome for kiddos, teenagers, and adults. And then I think the other piece would probably just be my authenticity. I think I work really hard to be the most appropriate version of myself as possible. And I try to allow, sometimes I think that being genuine in that way can invite somebody to also be themselves. And, whether that's you want to show up as a hot mess with no makeup on, that's okay. So I try to allow, I think that's a strength for me as a therapist of really letting people be themselves and feel comfortable. Yeah, sharing that with me.
Okay. Final question is what makes you most passionate about helping others?
Yeah, I would say, I think for me, it's just, it feels like a privilege to be invited into somebody's life in that way. It's a really powerful and intimate thing that somebody's doing by asking for help and trying therapy. It can be super intimidating. And so I think being able to be witness of that and be a part of that is amazing and an honor, and it makes me super excited and passionate about the work I do. You know, I think I have the best job ever. I get to talk to people all day, which is awesome. You know, that's what I love to do. And yeah, I think that is what makes me super excited about being a therapist.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us.
Yeah.
And that concludes our interview. So thank you for spending your time learning a little bit more about Bree and well-minded counseling. So thanks.